Ooh, alright ladies and gentlemen, Connor Rhodes from slumsociety.co.uk and welcome back to another video. We're here with another lesson and lecture. Hello and how are you? Lovely to see you again. Today we're talking about healthy foods. We're talking about what makes foods healthier than other foods. And if you are thinking about foods being healthy or not in the right way, this topic of conversation comes from my Facebook page because I made a post on that Facebook page and it was a little infographic picture, not even made by me, and on it one side said idolised and one side said demonised, and underneath the idolised was just a piece of toast with some avocado on. And what it was insinuating is, imagine you eating some avocado on toast, somebody might come up to you and say, oh, look at you eating healthy. And you would think, yeah, sure. Why not? Avocado's good, toast's good, you can't go wrong. On the other side, it said demonised. And it was another just piece of toast, but it had some Nutella on it. And some people would be like, oh, Nutella on toast, that's not good for you. When really, is that true? Some foods contain more positive nutrition than others, but the Nutella's not bad for you, you know? Like you might say, oh, but avocado's got healthy fats, but the Nutella doesn't have unhealthy fats. They both just have fats, and they're not even that different fats. If you actually look at the content of it, it's not really that different. You know, so let's talk about what you might think stereotypically makes food healthy, and let's then talk about what actually does. So is it whether things are green or not? Because that's one of the things about avocado which might get you as well. And I'm not saying avocado is not healthy. I'm just saying, just because things are green, that doesn't necessarily make them best. Like, what if your food's mouldy? Or there's a lot of poisonous plants? You know, I'm half kidding, but I'm also half not kidding. The colour of things, it's not, you know, just because something's green doesn't make it great. What it said underneath the idolised and demonised with the avocado on toast and the Nutella on toast, underneath it as well, it said calories. The avocado on toast had 300 and something. The Nutella on toast had 200 and something. And then people were commenting on my Facebook page, well, healthy eating's not only about the calories. You know, stuff like that. And I was like, all right, whoa. I didn't say it was only about the calories. I didn't even make the picture, but I did post the picture because I did agree with the picture. And we're going to talk about calories soon. One of the other things you could say about the avocado on toast is you could say, well, it's got more vitamins and minerals, hasn't it? But we're going to talk about that soon, coming up. What about processed foods? Does that make something healthy or not? If it's an or unprocessed food, or a less processed food and a more processed food? I'm going to have to tell you no, it really doesn't. What does processing mean? It means, I don't know, changing. It's like somebody has interacted with or processed the food, haven't they? But did you know that that's... Like if you pull it out of the floor, does that count as processing? Because if you wash it, it definitely does. What if you peel it? It definitely does. What if you cut it? It definitely does. And what if you cook it? It definitely does. So all foods are processed foods, really, unless you're just eating them straight raw. You know, so it's not even a real category. Just because something's processed less, does that make it better? No, not necessarily. Not necessarily. I understand what it means, of course, and so do you, with ultra, like, factory-created junk foods, and then you could think about some broccoli or something, but they're both technically processed foods, so it's not even a real category. So it's not whether something's processed or not, that's not making it healthy, okay? It's not necessarily its colour either. Are a lot of green foods great? Yes, okay. But it's not necessarily down to the colour, is it? What about the vitamins and minerals? Like I said, you could say, and some people might say, you know, with the avocado, well, it's got more vitamins and minerals. I know, but I know what we'll do. We'll switch topic of conversation very slightly, and we'll talk about problems that can occur from these things. Like, what if you don't have enough vitamins and minerals? What are some problems, some severe problems, that you could get from this? One would be scurvy, lack of vitamin C. Another could be rickets. That'd be lack of vitamin D, you know. Now let's talk about problems with calories. You know, if your calorie intake's not correct and that's causing you issues, let's talk about some of the things that can result in. One would be obesity. Another one would be, I'll just abbreviate, cardiovascular disease. I'll put HD. Heart disease. I'll put BP. For blood pressure, I'll put T2D for type 2 diabetes. Heard of these? Heard of these problems? I know that you have. Okay, I know that you have. Now, think about it. In the Western world, where we are, in the Western world, how many people do you know that are coming up against severe health issues or death due to vitamin and mineral related deficiencies? Like, how many people do you know that are getting scurvy and it's causing problems? How many people do you know that are getting rickets and it's causing problems? Not so much these days anymore, is it? How many people do you know that are getting obesity related issues or have obesity related issues, like some of these that I've listed? Heart disease, blood pressure, diabetes, cardiovascular disease. These things are on the rise, aren't they? Do these things not affect your health? Does body weight not affect your health? We know that it does. You know that these things affect your health. So yes, does the vitamins and minerals affect your health? Yes. But the chance of you in the Western world coming up against a severe vitamin and mineral deficiency and it causing an issue is actually pretty slim. People are not getting these problems really, are they? Even if you eat a highly processed diet, like we spoke about, processed foods are fortified, you've heard of that, with vitamins and minerals or vitamins and iron or something. That's what it'll say, won't it? So even if you're not eating unprocessed foods, like a stereotypically what you might think of as lots of healthy foods, the probability of you getting your vitamins and minerals, still not that bad. And a lot of people take a multivitamin and stuff like this, and I'm not saying that sorts all of it, but it can help, you know. What is the chance though of you coming up against an obesity or weight management or weight related issue such as some of these listed due to calorie intake in your life? Much higher, isn't it? A lot of people are struggling in these areas. Calories affect your health too. These days, it's kind of switched. Calories affect your health more than vitamins and minerals. In the past, you know, if we were hunters and gatherers, imagine that still. Did you know, think about this, the higher calorie foods would have been the best for health because they're the best for survival because they give you the most energy if you're a hunter and gatherer. Now in the Western world, we have an issue of too many calories causing these problems. More than vitamin and mineral related deficiencies. Unlikely, quite likely. So then what do you think we should be paying more attention to, even when we're thinking about health and not weight loss, even though health and weight loss are flipping linked? But what do you think we should be paying the most attention to? It's calories. This is literally how it goes. Due to this, what makes something healthy has kind of switched. Yes, does the colour of it count? Yes, okay, kind of. That is related to phytonutrients and stuff like this, and vegetables are brightly coloured and more processed, higher calorie, less vitamin and mineral containing junk foods are more processed, usually beige, aren't they? Some people are on the beige diet. You know, and do vitamins and minerals count and should we care? Yes, we definitely should. But what the problems that this might cause are much, much bigger than any of the problems that can come from this these days, or are very likely to come from this. So this now means that if you're thinking about what's healthy and what's not, really across a lifespan, you could get all foods and you could just rank them from lowest calorie to highest calorie, and then that's basically close enough the order of what's healthiest and what isn't. Because the higher calorie foods, even if it is avocado, and you think, you know, it's got healthy fats and vitamins and minerals, correct, but if it's higher calorie food and you keep going for the higher calorie food, you're going to come and run into these issues in your life. Then this is going to cause big problems from that healthy food. If you'd have been eating the lower calorie items and the weight stayed lower and then these problems didn't occur, then the problems wouldn't occur, would it? So the lower calorie items will serve you better in the Western world throughout your life. Should you eat flipping colourful foods and a variety diet? Of course you should. Should you try and make your own food and eat less processed foods? Okay, yes you can, of course, that would be good. And looking after your vitamins and minerals and getting your fruits and veggies in to cover this is definitely a good idea. But overall, times have changed, people. In the 21st century, times have changed. Now it's those pesky calories, they're the biggest health variable these days when it comes to nutrition. I hope that makes sense. If it does, leave me on a comment. If it doesn't, leave me on a comment. Give us a thumbs up if you liked the video, or if you want to, it'll give me a ping and it'll let me know that it's worth it to make these videos for you and that you enjoyed it, and it'll also help spread good, positive health information around the internet as well so that we can try and help more people. You can do your bit. Thank you so much. Connor Rose from slumsociety.co.uk. I'll speak to you and I'll see you again soon.